her.
Just saying, things.
What?
Internet.
Oh, internet.
Yeah.
Hi.
I told you I had everything ready to go.
Hi, Internet.
You got to say, and we are, or speed.
Oh,
or
look at that.
something.
My phone is saying, hey, watch live now.
Oh, no.
Hey.
Episode 548.
Oh, no.
I
Yeah.
might have to come back in 2 episodes.
Oh, no.
Why? 550 doesn't mean shit.
It's a milestone, Chuck.
Is it? Yeah,
It's
every
15
episode at this
episodes
point
since
is a
Tammy and T-Rex.
milestone.
You're kind of right. It's just like those people on Twitter who are like, 40 years ago, this movie released. And it's like, yeah, it's the summer. Of course, a movie released some number of years ago on this day.
Sure did.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Tweet.
Oh, let me do it. I'm going to tweet that. Retweet. No, don't click the link. Retweet. Retweet. Like, subscribe, retweet.
Attaboy. Ring that bell.
LSR.
Is that me?
Is your thing doing the thing again?
I don't know. Is it?
Don't do the thing. I'm going to hit like. And I'm going to do not top chat. I'm going to do live chat.
Yeah, live to chat.
Live chat. So were the spams still getting through even though we're subscribers only? Basically, they'd subscribe, spam us, and then...
Yeah, but it should be set to you have to be a subscriber for like a while.
Oh, they don't. It doesn't.
I don't know if they lay in wait. They subscribe like 6 months earlier and then...
Yes.
Man, that's dedication.
Well...
They just look and, they just run a script that says any channels that go live, check them out.
Yeah, I haven't been... has it been happening the past couple weeks?
No.
It did not happen last week.
I know it happened a
It
bunch
did
the
happen
last
last
time I was there.
For sure.
I was here.
For sure
there,
did.
Everywhere.
I mean, I'm pretty
It
sure
happened the week it was just you and me. I don't think it happened
It
last
didn't happen last
I
week.
thought it did.
Yeah, it definitely happened the last time I was here. Multiple times.
Maybe it's your fault. Is it you? Are you doing it?
Spammer.
Why?
Let me see what account you're logged into there.
This one up here that shows my face.
Oh, yeah, the
pasted
one that
onto,
says
Robert Downey Jr. from Iron Man 3.
XXX live nude chat. Hashtag Mackie
Yes.
nude live.
I hope you all catch my live nude chat.
I've been trying, but
So nude.
I don't get up that early.
I don't think
Like-
Time to Beat Feed has been here for quite a while.
My wife's that baconthenude.com. I don't know. Just,
What?
I just always have like, I
My
figure there's
wives that bake in the nude.
I figure there's like, like weird, fetishes, like just
Oh, yeah.
really bizarre. Like
That's not even. That doesn't even
anything
begin to get weird as far as fetishes
Anything
go.
feet has it for sure.
That's not even weird anymore.
Feet?
You got to be like cramming augers up your beehole.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I feel like that would hurt.
Cramming augers up your beehole.
Yeah.
Dot
I mean-
Tumblr.com.
I mean, depending on the size of the auger.
I think any auger, because I mean, of the nature of what an auger does.
Well, I mean, it's not like you're...
Also depends on what it's made out of, I guess. I mean, it could be silicone and it wouldn't really hurt that much, I guess. I assume.
Depends how much auging you're doing.
Depends on the size of your pooper.
go in Augie style.
Yeah. There it is.
God damn it. God damn it.
Yeah.
What's up, Internet?
Yeah.
Hi.
We
Where's
were just talking about
Bill?
butt augers.
Yeah. Just, like we do whenever we start shows, talking about.
Next thing you know, we'll be telling you about the furries that like the tail plugs, all that
We
shit.
got poop snakes over here.
Furries?
And I
that
mean like
the
snakes
tail
made out of poop. I mean
plugs.
like a like a plumber's style snake going up your poop hole.
Hmm.
Yeah, clean it all out. Or what would refer to
Yeah.
pooper.
You just can't yank it out like a ripcord.
Nope. No, you get some prolapsing.
Man.
Yeah.
Hello, Godspill Waria. Waria? Waria?
Wario. It's just like Wario.
Wario,
Number one.
We did get a hey guys.
Hey.
Hashtag hey guys.
Hashtag.
Sorry, when you start me on Waluigi, I can't stop.
Wow.
Wah.
It's hard not to do it. It's so fun.
It is.
It's so fun to go.
It's very hard not to do it.
Yeah, I
Just like Warburtoning is fun.
Yeah. I gave in another Discord. I was explaining to them how Super Mario 64 sucks and always has,
Okay.
and they all just kept tweeting at me the Luigi going by, giving the dirty look,
Mm-hmm.
just over and over. I was
Makes
like,
sense. Yeah.
you can hate all you want. I'm going to try to climb up this hill, but I'm going to slide down and hit one of the 3 enemies in the level, and then do it all over again, because that's Mario 64.
I beat it. It's pretty good.
I'll beat it.
I think it's not.
I mean, I beat it because I had that and Pilot Wings.
Yeah, there was nothing else to do. And you can't
Yeah,
do
you
shit
kinda
with
had no
pilot
choice.
wings.
I had to wait, and then I got Hydro Thunder.
Yeah, I didn't get a Mario
Whatever
a
it was.
Nintendo
Wasn't that the third
64
game?
till
Hydro
Ocarina
Thunder?
came out.
Hmm.
And then I got to the Water Temple and I was like, I don't want to play this anymore.
I don't know why I bought it on launch day, but I did.
Because that's what you do. You buy consoles.
I didn't back
How much
then.
was it at launch?
Probably $200. I don't know. 150. I don't know.
But the cartridges back then were like
Well,
70,
they were
80
like
bucks.
70, yeah, like $70, I think, 75.
Well, even like in the Super NES days, like I want to say Final Fantasy
Well, yeah, they had
3
batteries
or
and
whatever
shit.
it was
$7.99.
like, yeah. It's crazy.
Why do I remember shit like that? I don't know. That's the first thing that popped in my head was it was $200.
You're probably right, though.
It was. Yeah, he looked it up. Yeah, but I don't know. But I had that for a while, and then I think about the time, I mean, I played through Shadows of the Empire, and I got Mortal Kombat Trilogy and played that for a while, but then it was just like, nothing came out for the longest time, and I sold it and got a PlayStation and Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 7 and shit like that.
Yeah.
Never looked back.
Well, I think my thing was like I had a computer that could play stuff like Quake and all that, and I'm like, this already looks better than everything on the Nintendo 64. So
Yeah, well, that was the other thing is I had a okay PC, and it was like I was used to playing first-person shooters that operated like you would think they would operate instead of like backwards, like left-hand is movement and or right-hand is movement and left-hand is
Yeah.
shooting and all that weird shit.
Yeah.
yeah. But not even movement. You're like using a little D-pad.
And Taylor,
thing.
you should thank those people because Water Temple sucks. And man, but your friend did commit a serious faux pas. Never use the other person's save. Start a new save.
Oh God, no.
Like, I'll never understand people that do that. There ought to be prison for them. I don't like cops, but I think those people should be in jail.
What, cops?
No, people.
Yes.
Well, yes, but also people who use other people's saves and
Oh.
don't just start their own fucking save.
I gotcha.
Those people belong in jail,
Sure.
along with cops.
Yeah.
And also people who don't understand Rage Against the Machine
Okay. Are there
or the boys.
easier questions?
It's a
There
whole,
are
it's a
there,
whole thing.
there are people
like,
who rate Tom Morello saying I liked you guys until you got political, and
Or
they're not joking.
yet another band gone woke.
Yes, that was it.
Mm.
Then someone said, leave it up to a rock star to tell us about politics. And he said, yeah, well, you know, some of us could be Harvard educated political science majors. Oh, wait, I am. Yeah. Thanks.
That was still like the coolest musical thing I ever saw was accidentally seeing Tom Morello.
Yeah.
Like not knowing I was going to see Tom Morello because I didn't know what his latest band was at
Oh,
the time. And it was like he was the opening act. It's
Oh,
like-
nice.
And it was like he walked out on stage and I'm like, is that
is that Tom Morello?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I told you about my friend who met Zach De La Roca in a Target in L.A., and he was buying toys for his kid. And I
Okay.
was like, no, Zach De La Roca is supposed to be living in the forest like Che Guevara. He's not supposed to
Right.
be at the fucking Target in L.A. being a cool dude and buying his children toys.
Especially not Target.
It should be illegal for there to be a Target.
Well, at least he's not at Walmart. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
the only thing worse would be if he was in Walmart.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Zach De La Roca at a McDonald's.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But apparently their most recent show was really good.
So did
Like- like
did Rage
days ago.
Rage properly reform
Yes.
now? I mean, it does seem like a thing that
They were supposed to
happened.
reform during the pandemic.
Oh,
but
okay.
Pandemic. But yeah, 2020 they were supposed to have a reunion. Tour.
Okay. I mean, I heard, I feel like I've been hearing rumors of it for like 5-10 years, but I never knew it was actually getting close to happening.
It became
I would-
time.
I would still like to see them, though it just wouldn't be the same because I'm old and I couldn't get in the pit.
Oh, I would. I would go to the hospital for going to a Rage show. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
Yay! My back.
Yeah, I'd get in the pit and I'd be like, please don't hurt me, my knees. I have old knees. But then again, it would be like me and a bunch of other 40-somethings all being like, yeah,
Yeah, just rubbing your.
I got my
bones.
brace on. I'm going in.
It'd just be me and people and their son.
Yeah. And everyone's kids like out in the audience just looking at us, shaking their heads, going,
Just recording.
what
it.
are these old people doing?
Just TikTok shit.
Why is this old man attempting a spin kick and all he did was kick his brother in the shin?
Perfect.
Yeah, that was actually like, now that I think about it, that one show was kind of fucking insane. Like the musicians I saw, because I went to the Ninja tour, which was
Oh,
Nine Inch
the
Nails
what?
and Nine Inch Nails and Jane's Addiction. It was like
The
it was,
Ninja Tour.
not, it was
It was the later.
Did anyone
version of
actually
Jane's,
call
right?
it the Ninja Tour?
that's
Yeah, that was what
Okay.
it was called.
NIN
Fucking
and then
idiots.
JA.
Yep.
Bunch of fucking weeds.
So when was that? Like mid 2000s?
Sure, I don't know. No, it would have been I think it would have been in the tens probably. I have no idea.
Right on.
Because like I like Jane's Addiction Strays more than most Jane's Addiction's fans
Mhm.
do, but
Well, I
it's
mean,
not really Jane's Addiction at that point, though.
Yeah.
But I think they got Dave Navarro to come back at least for that.
yeah, Dave
one.
Navarro was there. I'm just saying.
And then they put out a fourth one that didn't have Dave Navarro on it. It's like, then why are you bothering? You're
Yeah.
just pouring over pirates.
I'm just
at this
saying, like,
point.
it was like, in one night I saw, Perry Farrell, Tom Navarro or Dave Navarro.
Yeah.
Clearly Trent Reznor. I saw Boots Riley because it was Street Sweeper Social Club and Tom Morello. So, I mean, it was like, I'm just saying, it was like kind of
Yeah.
a fucking crazy night when you think about it.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's a lot of legends.
yeah,
Legends of rock.
the director of Sorry to Bother You
Yeah.
was on stage.
Wow.
Good show.
The Coup. I like them till they got political. I have paused my video quite well. Chuck's given this.
Yeah.
You've almost got YouTube face. Almost.
I'm scratching my nose there.
Yeah.
Whole
Me,
scratchy
I'm
nose, they
looking
call me.
like Joe Rogan agreeing with some really stupid shit somebody's saying. Like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man.
Yeah, but have you ever done it on DMT?
So, like, Rage is playing now, like,
Yeah. They're about
They
to go
have
to
Right now.
tour.
Begun
Yeah.
playing concerts.
Literally right now. They're
well, I don't mean like right this moment. I just
They
mean,
might.
like,
No, they
well,
wouldn't be on stage yet. Could
well,
be. Maybe
I'm
if
just
they're
saying,
in
like,
London.
are they here in the U.S.? I mean,
I have not looked
Okay,
into
'cause-
it, but I
'cause
know
can't,
that
I can't go that
I know that they
far.
played one of their first shows like within the past week.
Okay.
it was like 2 days ago or
Yeah.
yesterday.
Well,
something like that.
I'm employmentally challenged, and
You got the time.
I missed my window in 1995 to see
Yeah.
them. So
They're at the
I've-
United
I've-
Center in Chicago right
there,
now.
there's one of the few regrets was
Yep, rescheduled from 5/20/20
May.
and 7/13/21.
Yep.
So let's see. He
you
can go
should
to
go- no.
Chicago.
You should go to the RBC Ottawa Blues Fest to see Rage and Run the Jewels.
Oh,
yes,
fuck, Run the
yes,
Jewels?
yes. When is this?
Friday in Ottawa.
Like this Friday?
All of the shows that they have are with Run the Jewels.
Ottawa.
Well, it doesn't say the one tonight is with Run the Jewels.
But the ones I'm seeing there are
Yeah.
all in a row.
If you
All
click
of
on
the-
it, it does say.
Like
Oh, it
this
doesn't.
Friday? Like I have to get on the road.
So
to
I
go.
would only hope
Yeah, you
that he
should be
comes
going.
out when they do Just.
I mean, you don't have to. You could fly up there. Canada's
Just
not
always
that
bet on
far.
black.
You meant always bet on Zach.
Yeah.
Am I right?
yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Rage Against the Machine joke.
Oh,
They're not coming anywhere near the South except for Raleigh.
Well, yeah.
well, they're
Because
playing.
of racism.
They're playing 8 days in
When is-
Madison
when
Square
is
Garden.
Raleigh?
So
July 31st.
Okay.
But yeah, they're playing.
I'll be moving that
Madison
day.
Square Garden for like a week and a half.
I will be. I will be. I will. Shoving the last amount of shit in my car.
I never saw a show at Madison Square Garden.
Well, you got plenty of opportunity. You go to Leeds in the UK and
Are
see
they?
them with
And
Arctic
they're not sold
Monkeys.
out either.
Who knows?
That'd be fucking epic.
It's hard to say because these are rescheduled shows, so they may have already been sold out.
Yeah,
But a lot of people probably died. So
I'm sure StubHub could hook you up
Yeah, for
only like
$7,000.
$3,000.
$142.
Is that pit seating?
That's too fucking much.
Is that for the
Fuck
pit?
off.
Row 13.
Okay, it's not too much for row 13.
Row 13. 13.
I mean, I don't know if that's good or not, but
Row 13 to the second power.
I mean, seats in row 3 are $250. So
That is, it's sad that my brain is like, it's a reasonable price for the shows.
I mean,
Like concerts now have they've broken us.
Well, no,
like, they're so overpriced, it's broken us.
I just think that like I finally get it. Like I mean, like I just remember like being a teenager and like Rolling Stones going on tour. Like who the fuck is paying $70 to see those old fucks and and stuff like that.
That's the
I'm-
Rolling Stones.
And I'm just like now I'm like I missed seeing Rage. Like I literally had tickets for Lollapalooza
Okay.
that got canceled the day
Yeah.
of, and it was just like and I'm just like I'd pay $200 like right now in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I understood it when I saw Pearl Jam, whatever that was, 5 or 6 years ago, because I was there and I was like, holy shit, literally every late 30s, early 40s person in Jacksonville is here right now.
Yep.
At this show with me. And we all know all the songs, and they're not fucking around. They're not like, well, we're not going to play it live. It's like, no, of course they're going to fucking play the songs you want to hear.
Well, the Pearl Jam doesn't seem to fuck around and do that too much.
No, but I mean, it is like it is very much a communal experience with a bunch of people that are like, you can finally get somewhere where everyone is your age and they like the same thing you do. Generally speaking,
I've done that.
I did that 20 years ago when I saw Pearl Jam.
I know, but I'm saying, like,
Dragon Con.
yeah,
I know what
but
you
I'm
mean,
saying
yeah.
nowadays you can't really get that, and also if
Well, you
you're
can if you go see Pearl
also if you're under 30, you can't afford to buy a concert ticket
Right.
at
Oh, no.
any price.
oh no.
Jam. Well, 20
Because-
years ago, you
because
could.
you've only lived in hell
Right.
since you became an adult.
You know nothing else.
Yes,
I think it was
all
like
you've known is poorness, and we're
$35
sorry.
to see Pearl Jam row. I think we were in row 30
Mm-hmm.
on the floor at the St. Pete Times Forum.
Mm-hmm.
Been there. I saw the police there.
There were lots of police there when I was there. Yeah. It's because there was a bunch of fucking rowdy.
I'm trying to remember how
youngins.
much we both saw Radiohead. We didn't go together, but we both were at that one show
At
down
West
in
Palm?
West Palm, and that was
Yeah.
probably like what, $25-$30, something like that.
It was practically
most.
$0.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably spent
And they
more
shot all
on-
those glow balls out at the
Yeah,
audience.
that was the great.
Yeah.
What's the
greatest.
name of the
I was
Tampa
so
Bay
high.
Stadium? Like
Raymond James.
Raymond James. Okay, yeah.
Ramin
I s-
James.
That's the only like stadium show I've been to is there. I think I don't think I've actually even been to one in whatever the hell it is now. Altel, is it Altel still? No, we don't have Altel. What the hell is it? TIA.
Convergence.
TD Waterhouse.
TIAA
No, that's
Bank Field.
Yeah.
TIAA, that's it.
See, I did know that.
Locked
And,
down the.
I miss
bank.
Altel.
Anaphylactic.
They were a shitty, shitty cell service provider.
They were
and
bad.
I had them.
However,
Yes.
However,
you could get like a $35 a month unlimited calling if you were in the 904 area code
Correct.
plan, which was the greatest thing.
that's what I had.
I miss the cell phone bullshit wars.
Yeah.
Now they're all just like, buy a phone and get 4 free phones. I'm like, I don't need that. Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
I like that it swung the other way, and now there's commercials where like, you don't need a family to get discounts.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
like, thank you, because fucking A, man.
Yeah, but also you're still charging like $150 for a reasonable plan.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
thank you, Verizon.
Yeah, I could just realize that's the only like stadium show I've ever seen was like there in Tampa.
Mhm.
Tampa of all fucking places.
George Strait Country Music Festival in like 2003.
Yeah,
That's,
I
yeah.
saw the Grateful Dead and the Black Crows opened.
I saw you two there twice.
You didn't see any of us there.
At TIAA Bank?
No, at Raymond James.
Oh.
I've never been to Raymond James. Of course, there's no way you
How
have
dare
seen
you,
us
sir?
two.
No, you didn't see us two there.
Well, I've been to Tampa. Like I also went to whatever USF's basketball arena is. That's
Mm.
like the exact same as UNF's. It is freaky. Like
Oh, yeah.
it is like they got the exact same designer and everything exactly the same. And it was just like, where am I?
They probably just went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut, paste.
Cut paste.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it was like I thought I was back here, and
Mhm.
it was freaky.
Similar.
I miss the was it the Sunrise Amphitheater that they tore down like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunrise Amphitheater in beautiful Sunrise, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Weezer there once with the Get Up Kids and Ozma. Ozma is a great band if you are into Weezer likes.
It is very
Which-
Witcher like.
Used to be called the emo, I guess, but now is whiny indie rock, which is kind of my jam.
I feel like it should just be called high school rock.
Yeah,
Okay, I feel like
Weezer hasn't left high school.
except for
since
like that's probably
they left high school.
reserved for like Zac Efron.
Zac Efron isn't even high school. He's like 40 now.
Yeah.
I know.
He's a serious actor.
Mm.
If you sing in college, people can hear you. That was the best thing about all that. Is just him on SNL.
Yeah. The first U2 show that we saw in Tampa, Muse opened for them, and I swear to God, they have the absolute douchiest entrance I've ever seen.
Of course they do.
For a band. They just
Dude.
walk out like, "We are gods. Gods are here now. Bow down to us. We are Muse. Hello." So unbelievably
I've
ridiculous. I mean, I like Muse, but man, their stage presence was just like, wow, fuck you guys.
yeah. I mean, they have one good song. I've never understood the fandom behind Muse.
They love it. They want more
Never
Muse.
understood it.
Put more Muse in rock bands.
I was able to. I remember when the first time you could put out tweets that no one could reply to. The first one I did was like, Muse only has one good song.
What is the one good song?
That Knights of Caledonia or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, the rock.
Wait,
the
no,
Guitar
no.
Hero thing.
That's
Knights of Sidonia. That's
Sidonia, yeah.
No, that's
Dragon
Coheed and
Force.
Cambria.
Oh, Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of
Yeah.
you.
No, that's not Coheed and Cambria. Is that one song that's like 45 minutes
Yeah,
long
that's
that
the
all
one.
drummers
Yeah.
hate?
Knights of
Knights of Sidonia. That's
No.
a
Oh my
No,
God.
that's Welcome Home.
Yeah, Welcome Home is the Coheed and Cambria song.
Yeah.
What
That's
is
the one that's like
the
9
one
minutes.
Muse song?
It's Knights of.
Oh, it is.
Knights
It
of
is a music.
Sidonia.
What's the okay? What's the
Well, there's
fucking?
Through the Fire and the Flames. That's
Yeah.
the
That's Dragon
Yeah,
Force. Yeah, we
Dragon
all know
Force
that.
is shit.
Yeah.
They are. I'm sorry. They are fucking trash. And anyone who likes them, I'm sorry. You have bad taste.
All right.
Cat's mad at you for that.
Yeah.
No, heard it.
I don't. I mean,
Uh,
I don't really know them. Is that? I mean, I'm trying to remember. That's the one that's like the heavy piano. That.
Yeah.
Is that
Like
one?
everyone liked it just because it was Skittles
It goes,
all over the fucking screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not even. Yeah. It's
I love that song.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks.
I don't know. I like the Widdly Widdlies.
Okay,
They're
what is? Now I have to.
Yeah.
Now Dream Theater, they suck. Dream Theater is like Tool for people who are like, I like things that suck. That's Dream Theater.
That's Dream Theater.
Yeah.
Okay, Knights of Sidonia just sounds like some shit that Coheed and Cambria would write.
Yeah, they suck too.
Yeah.
People love them. I guess like any like modern progressive anything. I'm like, nah, it's all shit.
Although I really like the riff from that song. I just don't like the fact that it goes on for 45 minutes.
Which one? Welcome Home or Knights
Welcome
of
Home,
Sidonia?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The
I just hated it because it was so repetitive, and everyone, whenever you were online playing Rock Band, was like, "Let's play that one."
Yeah.
because you could get 40 billion points or whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares?
And the drummers, I was just bored. I would be bored every time we'd play because it's just a fucking dirge for 7 minutes. It's like, God, I hope they fucking bury somebody at the end of this because, fucking Christ.
They're gonna have a funeral for your
Well, if
foot.
they do that,
Yeah.
it won't. It'll just have to do it again.
yeah, because 3 days later. Let's do a podcast.
Oh right, yeah.
We were just sitting here with nothing to say, and then it was like,
Oh shit! Yeah, we're,
we
let's
were
do
we're an hour
podcasts.
early.
We were
Yeah.
like, hey, let's talk about music and stuff.
we are.
Oh yeah,
Huh?
yep.
What? Hey, hi. What?
Fuck Queen. They're
Ah.
terrible. Bohemian Rhapsody, one of the worst songs ever recorded. I fucking hate Wayne's World because it brought it back. Everyone had forgotten about him, and then Wayne's World brought him back.
No
Also, if Wayne's World came out today, like they would be bringing back music from like 2005.
You have not listened to enough music if you think Bohemian Rhapsody is the worst song.
It's not the worst song. It
Okay.
just sucks, and it is. It's the most overrated
Don't
song in history.
Do that, Krasy. You're gonna prop up his position.
We're gonna
on
put
No,
up a
it's fine.
sign.
No, I
Do not
I
mention
have.
Queen.
Yeah, I have stopped at like. There. I'm done already. Like I'm not changing anyone's mind. They can listen to Captain Opera yodel his way through another song, and I'm glad they enjoy it.
He's dead. He's not going to yodel through anything more.
Thank God. Let's do a podcast.
Okay.
You guys are going to miss this.
No, not.
Yeah, you're probably not.
What?
We'll do the variety hour, though.
When we cancel the show.
We'll get to it.
When we cancel the... Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm just making sure everything's tight. Something seemed a little loose over here.
Always tight.
Got a little loosey-goosey?
Something,
Oh.
something was a little... There we go. See, it's tighter. It's tighter
Oh,
now.
it's so tight.
little goosey? Yep. Okay.
All right.
Gonna clap it up?
All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey! BMFcast.
Episode 548.
Wow.
Wow, 548.
Numbers.
That's so many.
Yeah.
A milestone.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every milestone episode of this here BMFcast is we go to watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about them. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and Robot Jocks.
Robot Jocks.
Robot
Yay.
It's great.
However, there are bad movies. And stay away. They get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags and giant bags of trash.
Nope.
Boo.
In
Do
which they belong.
Not want.
Yeah.
Thumbs down.
So many words. Why did I make so many words for the beginning?
You're welcome to change it.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, you're in control.
Oh. What?
You're
No,
you're running the board.
You're in control of that part.
Don't tell me that. My head's big enough already.
Mm.
So we watched kind of a bigger movie. We've been watching some slightly indie-ish old things, weird things, but I don't know. Maybe this isn't even a big movie anymore. I guess it just feels like a big movie from our era. But it's Passenger 57 from 1992. Wesley
Yeah.
Snipes. It's a pretty
I mean, it's a major motion picture from a studio.
right.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big hit.
Yeah.
But, major release
I
with
just
actors
think,
in it.
compared to
It's
the
got
original
Wesley
Gone in
Snipes
60
in it.
Seconds.
Sure, yes, it's not that.
It's not a grindhouse flick. It
No.
got proper promotion.
It did. It played in the mall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is where I saw it. So, okay, this time, let's see, because I was blown away when we did Hard Target, and everyone was like, I've never seen this. So,
I've seen Passenger 57.
and I confirmed with BJ
Yes.
that he had seen it. Mackie, had you ever seen?
Nope.
Okay.
It's been a long time,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like I have seen it for sure.
BJ was like, I haven't seen it in a decade, and
At
Harlow
least
and
a
I
decade,
were
yeah.
like, we haven't seen that in forever.
Yeah.
So, this kind of came up because on Extra we watched a movie with this film's bad guy in it, and we're like, we just started talking. It was like, I haven't seen Passenger 57 in a while. Neither have I.
This was the one where he had the to-do list, and one of them was kill the henchman.
Yes,
Where it was like
kill Frankie or
yeah,
whatever
kill
that
Frank
was.
or whatever, right underneath half sex.
Yeah, Bruce Payne,
Yeah.
weirdo bad guy.
Yep.
For a brief period of time.
What movie was that he was in?
One Man's Justice,
Okay.
also known
that
as
was the
One
Bosworth movie, right?
Tough Bastard.
Yeah, that was aging Brian Bosworth.
Yeah, that was his second film and sort of his last.
He was in
Old
The Keep.
Boz.
Brian Bosworth was in The Keep.
No, Bruce Payne.
Oh,
The Keep.
wow.
He was in Solar Babies.
Bruce Payne was in Solar Babies.
He was in Solar Babies.
Well, good for him.
You should watch Lord Peeves.
We've watched
We
Solar
did.
Babies. Yeah.
Like for the show?
Yes,
Fuck off.
It was an absolute.
No.
It was an episode.
it
I
was.
don't
You're
believe
right.
you.
It
I
was
don't
an
believe you.
episode.
I don't believe you.
Nailed
That's
it.
We have
true.
not watched Dungeons and Dragons, which he is also in.
Oh, I
See,
don't.
I thought we did watch.
We watched Dungeon Siege
See, I
A Knight's
and
Tale
Dragon
or
Ball
whatever.
Z.
Okay, well, let's see. I
Dragon
don't know.
Ball.
and
Balls.
Q the Winged Dragon.
Right.
Why? Yeah, I don't know. We've
Or
watched
Q the
some
Winged
movies.
Serpent.
Winged
Sorry.
Serpent.
Serpent.
You're from the future.
I am, and I'm here to tell you, Chuck. You have
Yeah.
to go back.
I feel like in looking at this, we have more almost behind the scenes BAMFcast connections than we do like kind of in front of the camera on
Sure.
this.
Have we ever seen a Wesley Snipes movie for?
We have.
We have.
Money Train.
Money Train.
Yeah.
There it is.
I remembered a thing.
Good job. That was our New Year's Eve movie.
Yep.
Money Train.
That's right, because there are very few New Year's Eve movies.
Right. We were like, oh, let's watch all
Ever-
the New Year's Eve movies.
That had,
Oh,
that had the Shaggy song, right?
yes.
See, why do I remember that? Because I was like, I
Wait,
remember
and
like
didn't-
Shaggy had like 3 songs. And we were
Didn't
like,
you
what are
guys
those Money
do
Train?
Dolomite is My Name for an extra
Yes,
as
we
well?
did.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So technically, yes.
He's
Hey,
great in that.
But yeah,
Yeah, he is.
correct?
Very much so.
Yeah, directed by Kevin Hooks, who
Mhm.
also did Irresistible Force. And way back,
Black Dog.
Black Dog.
Yeah, those are basically his 3 films. Everything else is in his career is television, which is a lot. Like that.
Oh
man,
my God! If you look up his television, it's
Yeah.
like any movie and any TV show that you probably recognize in the past 20 years. He has like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yep.
But yeah, he also enlisted his dad, Robert Hooks, to show up, of Troubleman fame.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't
Oh,
seen
Bobby
Troubleman,
Hooks.
You should watch Trouble.
go fucking watch Troubleman because
That's-
it rules.
That movie's awesome.
Yeah.
We like it.
Yeah, and like I was surprised at how loaded this cast. Well, not loaded, but like how many people I recognize in this cast.
In
'Cause-
retrospect, it's a bigger cast
Yeah.
than
Yeah, because you got Tom Sizemore, not
Mhm.
sleazing it up as much as Tom Sizemore usually does.
He's kind of the straight man.
Yeah, Bruce Greenwood being kind of sleazier than Tom Sizemore for once. Elizabeth Hurley,
Very sleazy.
yeah. Michael Horse, if you if you've seen Twin Peaks, you know Michael Horse.
Yep.
But
Is
otherwise,
that the
I
Jack
mean,
Nicholson stand-in guy?
No, he's the guy with the earring.
Oh, okay, yeah.
and you'll recognize Ernie Lively because he's been in 3 billion movies, and I don't even know which one of them's are. Which one of them's is
Which-
BMFcast movie?
Which one of them?
But yeah, he's like he's the Southern sheriff. Who, yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
It's just a little.
Yeah, this movie goes some
Odd.
weird places.
It's not what you think it is.
Also, is
Yeah.
it written by Stuart Raffle? Is that what
Story
it-
by.
Yeah, the story by Stuart Raffle of Tammy and the T-Rex fame
And the Ice Pirates.
and the Ice Pirates. And then it was like adapted by David Lowery,
Mhm.
which I don't really. He hasn't done anything we've done.
Lowry.
Lowery, but he did
David
do Star Trek V, which Chuck's dying to do, but we're not going to do.
I'm not dying to do that.
You're dying to do it. I know
No,
you are.
that movie's good. That doesn't qualify for this show.
And Dan Gordon, who wrote Surf Ninjas, and Wyatt Earp, and The Hurricane.
Sure.
Talk about a weird filmography.
That's
But anyway,
very odd.
yeah, there's just a lot going on, man. What can I tell you?
Totally, man.
Well, you can tell is that Wesley Snipes is a security consultant for an airline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never really established what his backstory is, just that he's a security guy and people know him.
He worked for this security company.
But like the FBI knows him, and is
Everybody
like
knows
he's
him.
a dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those, like, he's got a rep.
Yes.
But he
Yeah.
really is just a private consulting guy.
Yeah.
Well-
he holds no, like, authoritative power, really. I mean, not
Well, he
like
was Blade, so
Well,
Yeah.
not yet.
He would become
yeah.
Blade.
this is set in the future,
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
and Blade is set in the past.
I gotcha.
Oh.
Well, technically, if he was Blade, then he would have been Blade because vampire long life thing.
Yeah.
He'd been Blade for
Right.
will be
Yeah.
for a long
I've
time.
been
One
played-
thing I'll say about this,
Uh-huh.
like, you hear stories about Wesley Snipes nowadays, and like Blade Trinity seems to be the one everyone wants to talk about, how he didn't want to be in the movie and do any of that shit, and he was an asshole. And I don't know how much of an asshole he was making this, but I feel like Kevin Hooks was just like, dude, this is it, fucking go for it. And I feel like he pours so much charisma into this that we had forgotten about in the interim before he came back with Dolomite Is My Name, where we're all like, dude, everything Wesley Snipes does in this movie is the fucking best. And it's like, it's kind of, that's the character he gets to play here as well.
Well, he sort of took that trip up Hubris Mountain. I mean, between I'm too good to be in my own movies, that my own franchise that I've started, and also tax evasion, and like, did he do a whole weird thing where he like passed out running while wearing like?
No, that was Martin Lawrence.
That was Martin Lawrence. Okay, I was just saying, like, there was like
I'm-
some weird shit where like his
For the
like,
record, I'm pro tax evasion.
Okay,
Fuck
sure,
him.
yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, there
Yeah, I
was
got
all
no
those.
problem.
No, I'm just saying, like, there was all
I'm
these.
against getting caught.
Yeah.
Well, there's just all these things that, like, for whatever reason, set this like negative light on him,
Yeah.
and some of it was, self-imposed.
He started to come across as a prima donna kind of guy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm too good for that.
But none
Bruce
of that
Willis
comes
has,
through in this movie.
no.
And that's kind of what you want. It's just like he is super likable in this movie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you go
Like
back
all
and
of
watch
the charisma he has.
as shitty as Bruce Willis is now. You go back and watch Die Hard, Moonlighting, and you're like, yeah, I get it. I get why this guy was going to be a thing. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is a star vehicle, absolutely, and pretty much up to this point, while he had been in some huge movies, it was mostly ensemble and buddy stuff. This is like his first chance to really be like, I am the star, and he digs right into it.
Yeah.
The movie is not necessarily a super showcase for a lot of things, but he's got a spinning kick that he can do, and he's got some other weird fighting moves that he has learned over time.
The thing
He's got 90s fighting moves.
Yeah.
The thing I'll say is he's doing all these stunts.
Yes.
There are very few stunts that you can tell are not him.
Right.
Very few.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of editing around how he fights the guys. There's a lot of, all right, cut to the foot hitting the guy type stuff.
Yeah, but this is what I would call like very base level action movie, because it's like he has no backstory other than like, you know, he inadvertently got his wife killed.
Wife
basically.
dead.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, it's just like, you know, it's like, what is your training? What's your background? It's like there's one scene where he's shown doing like a, you know, like an Eastern meditation pose. Like, oh, maybe he knows kung fu and shit because he's meditating. You know, and like other than that, it's just like, I don't know, he's burning incense and doing meditating, so I guess he can fight. You know, and then it's just like,
Yes.
that's it. And plus, he's Wesley Snipes. You know, it's like that's really like all the backstory you need. It's like a Dolph Lundgren movie. You know, where it's just like, yeah, clearly that's the guy that's going to go punch people.
It's very short. Like,
Yeah.
this is an oddity for a major motion picture around this time that wasn't really like fucked with by the studio. This is sub 90 minutes. This is 83 minutes long. And they're pushing it.
Yeah.
Like there's like a long time of like, hey, get to the plane. Like, what are you doing, movie?
Yeah,
What's all
Well,
this
and it's-
wooing Wesley Snipes bullshit?
And it's not even clear like what's going on when Tom Sizemore comes to kind of like recruit him, because
Right.
he's like, we got to get you back in it, because he's teaching flight attendants what to do in like a hostage situation.
Yeah.
And from there, Tom Sizemore's like, we got to get you back in the game. Come on. And he's like, okay. So I'm like, oh, so they're getting him back on the FBI or something?
That's
and
what
it's
I
like,
figured, yeah.
no, Tom Sizemore just works for an airline who's like, we need a security chief.
Yeah.
Why don't you come be our VP of security?
I think the idea was he had his own company or whatever, and Tom Sizemore had been throwing him a bone by like letting him do these classes or whatever, and he's like, let me get you back with a real job.
Why don't you come back with guns?
You know, and so because he said something like, I'll do you this favor, whatever. Can't keep doing you favors, something like that. And or I do you a favor because he tells off one of the flight attendants who decides to like, cowboy up and take down one of the him being the fake hijacker.
Yeah.
And then it's like revealed, it's like, ta-da, it's just a set, and they're learning, and he's clearly not a hijacker.
Yeah.
But he's maybe a little bit of a loose cannon and has problems with authority or whatever, and
Maybe.
yeah.
She does, for sure.
Does, yeah. But then it's just, let's go meet Bruce Greenwood at fancy place. You want the job, it's yours. And then we're going to fly you to L.A. to begin your new job. But we're also putting you on a commercial plane that is going to have Bruce Payne, who's been captured in another scene that we've seen, another action scene.
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah.
The opening
Might as well
scene,
cover
really.
this.
Yeah.
He is about to have his face cut off and replaced with a new face, but he doesn't want to be put under for it.
Right.
He doesn't want any anesthesia whatsoever. And the doctor's like, what about the pain? He's like,
There will be
no pain.
He's
I
like,
don't-
I
and
want to stare in your eyes as you do it.
yeah.
And I don't get what happens like immediately next, because he's like, Doctor, what time is it?
It's like somehow his sense was that because the FBI guys are like outside,
Right.
get ready to move.
The thing about Bruce Payne in this movie is that until the very last second of his character's existence, he seems like he knows exactly what's going to happen in any given moment. And that's a bit deflating for an action movie, because he is never freaked out in any way, shape, or form. He is constantly just like, well, that happened, but luckily I have 8 backup plans for that thing that no one could have predicted happening. Because like there are 2 or 3 things, major events that happen along the way where he's just like, I got this. And it's like, why do you have this? There's no reason for you to have this. You didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's
So-
a lot of like jump to the wrong conclusion to get to the next scene kind
Yeah.
of thing by all parties involved, because there's several times where it's like, that's probably not the best course of action. Like, that's probably not what the handbook says to do in this scenario. Like,
But like his confidence in this scene is so strange because he's acting like he knows that at 12 noon the FBI is going to bust in to arrest him. So why was he prepping to have facial reconstructive surgery?
And he murders the surgeon on the way out.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, he's so crazy, and they keep trying to like, oh, he had a weird childhood and he killed his dad, and he just keeps saying things it's like, oh, he's just such a bad guy. He's just so bad.
this was that weird time. We took a weird pivot. Like, I don't understand why, but like for some reason it seemed like around the time of Jeffrey Dahmer, people became obsessed with serial killers and started to empathize with them, and like Ted Bundy and shit. I'm just saying, like, there was that weird pivot in the 90s, like around Jeffrey Dahmer, where it was like, here's the weirdest, most fucked up of the serial killers who's, not just killing him.
Well,
but
I mean,
eating
Silence
him
of
too.
the Lambs was shortly earlier, and so it's like, oh, just be cold and.
Well, that's what I mean. It was
calculated.
just like people started to like, oh, because it's like this Steve Buscemi thing in Con Air. It's just like, haha, that's fun, and it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah,
like,
it's
what the fuck?
awful.
Yeah.
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 They don't ever try to humanize this guy,
Right.
which is good, but
Yeah, I just mean it's like people were like, yeah, look, yeah, whatever. He's a kooky Norman Bates kind of guy. That's fun.
yeah.
I guess we had run out of other like foreign villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this guy also jumps out a third-story window to escape,
Yeah, hits an awning, but
and
I
and,
guess
and is
It's
able
not
to.
even an awning.
It's
It's
a
an
umbrella.
umbrella. Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Grazes it, but somehow is like, I'm fine.
Yeah, he's still getting up, pushing people out of the way until
because he can't feel pain.
he runs into a cop car, and then
A water truck
the water truck
turns
spills
over. And, yeah,
and
that's
they
his one
capture him.
weakness is spilled water.
But yeah,
Look what you've done to me.
But he also
What a
acts like
world.
this is exactly what I was expecting to happen. Now I'm in jail. Now I'm gonna beat up my lawyer.
Yeah.
Confess to more crimes.
yeah.
in
But
front of
he
my
gets his lawyer to basically signal the gang, that they need to help save him.
Yes, Chocolate Rain is not insane, or whatever his name is. Charles Rain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the Charles Rain in Spain is not insane.
Yes.
But of course, they know exactly which flight they're going to be putting him on, even though we learn from the airline people that the FBI show up last second and put people on whichever plane they feel like putting them on.
Yeah, and the plan not only has other passengers there prepared, but staff.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
What I'm also wondering,
Yes.
did he have like 3 other crews on 3 other planes?
Oh, yeah.
Just hoping he shows up, just so they had all the planes covered?
Yes, there was an Elizabeth Hurley on every
Yep.
plane.
Oh,
That's what I wonder. What if that other crew's like, oh man, he didn't come on our plane. We don't get to kill anybody?
right. Yes. They're flying to their destination like,
We just have
Yeah.
to go to L.A.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
on coach.
Yeah, the other Elizabeth Hurley's like, I have to just serve assholes drinks for
Yeah.
3 hours?
when is he showing up?
Yeah.
I want to murder someone.
Fuck your hot towel.
Yeah.
No, don't.
Not allowed anymore.
These are the things I think about. If he has planned for everything,
You would
then
think,
he had
yes.
multiple teams on
Yeah.
multiple planes.
You're probably right.
And those people, they actually got out all right because they don't die or get arrested. So
yeah.
that we know of.
We don't know. Yeah.
Maybe in Passenger 58,
Yeah.
we find out what happened to all them.
I mean,
Been waiting
this-
Wouldn't that
30
be
years
that,
for Passenger
that would be the
58.
sequel? The direct-to-video sequel is just those people just like staffing a flight, messing around with a kid on the plane, landing, and then just being like calling and being like, "Oh, he got arrested. He's dead.
wait,
Oh.
Shit."
he flew. He's in a swamp somewhere. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Just make the whole concurrent movie
Yeah.
of just
Yeah.
them waiting on the plane like, what's
Yeah.
happening?
Passenger 57 guy Den.
Then they get the call. Yeah. It's like,
And-
he died.
Because it's 1991 or whatever, like, you have no idea what's going on while you're up in the air.
Oh, yeah. No, nothing.
No.
It's probably days later before they find
Yeah.
out what happened.
Yeah. It's just some weird news broadcast. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
man fell out of a plane.
yeah. Let's just do this. Let's find like every just every villain that has like these plans that there's no way they could account for everything and make the movies
Make
about
the
the
side
other
story.
Yeah, like
About the
like
backup plan that
yeah,
was
like
never
like,
needed.
like Joker's other henchmen that are in all the weird places in the Dark Knight that
Yeah.
you wouldn't know where they'd be.
Yeah.
yeah, all the things. Like, just go through
I like
all these
this.
movies.
I like this idea. There should be like a weekly show Like, just take one popular thing
Yeah.
and just be like, wow, that bad guy overplanned.
Yeah.
Now here's all the other people who weren't involved with it whatsoever.
And they just have camera interviews with him. And it's like, yeah, he told me I had to serve a lot of drinks.
Yeah.
And I needed to keep serving those drinks until he gave me the signal. But he
Yeah.
never gave me the signal. Would you like a drink, sir? Because I'm afraid of that man.
I pretended to be a school bus driver for 4 years.
I got to know these kids.
I killed the galley worker for no reason.
Yeah.
I am a school bus driver now.
That's the thing is, like, you got to assume that, like, the real Elizabeth Hurley, like, for that plane is dead somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, and that, because we saw the galley guy was dead that faux Jack Nicholson had murdered. So, like,
Yeah.
somewhere there's other airline people that are murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an epidemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't go work for airlines is what we're trying to say.
No.
But anyway, the crew that does end up on this plane,
Uh-huh.
they hijack it.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean,
They hijack it.
there's
mean,
not. I mean, it's
It's like a real dumb reveal.
it's a very
'cause it's like,
perfunctory movie. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like it's.
It's
they
weird
do
how
it-
basic the plane stuff is and how brief in the film it is. It's
Right.
not the. It
Yeah.
really isn't the major point of the film.
I'll tell you this: it's no turbulence.
well,
No.
that I mean,
No.
like, you want to talk about telegraphing the bad guys. Like, I mean, the one dude from Twin Peaks is in line behind Wesley Snipes at the TSA checkpoint or whatever.
Yeah.
And is basically, like, just got this death stare at him as, like, Wesley Snipes is getting hand wanded because he keeps setting off the metal detector, apparently on purpose, because he wants the ladies to pat him down or something like that. Because he says something. Tom Sizemore says something like, "How do you always do that?" Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway,
Mhm.
just like I'm like that
He
guy's
also had an earring, and
Yeah.
it's real dumb. It's like, it's your ear.
yeah. That guy's like dead eyeing him. I mean, Elizabeth Hurley gets on the plane. And is just like, "Oh, hey, new day here." It's just like, I wonder if I'm one of the bad guys. You know.
It's weird that there's another Brit on this plane, huh?
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she, like, the reveal is she shows up with supposedly dinner and, like, there's a gun under the serving tray. They shoot the agents and then it's just basically like Bruce Payne's like, "My plane now."
Yep.
Shoots the pilot. And it's like, does the who's in charge here? And
I am.
the pilot says, "I am," and it's like, try again.
I do like that.
So yeah. But yeah,
There are a few decent one-liners written into this,
Yes.
which makes it really strange when the line we all want to hear comes up. But there is little stuff like that where he's like, "Who's in charge?"
Right.
Because I am gets shot, and he's like, "Who's in charge?" Like, you are.
They missed some weird opportunities. Like, nothing is said when Bruce Payne. I mean, except in the movie when Bruce Payne is kicked out of a airlock. I mean, the door. But you know, like, I'm just saying, like, there's nothing like
Spoilers.
you know said there or even after. I mean,
Yeah.
you couldn't really do it at the time, but he should have probably said something.
Yeah, it's one of those weird
Cool.
things that feels like there were enough drafts to get some good lines in,
Sure.
but there weren't enough drafts to like get all of them in.
Well, the thing about
Kind of.
the thing about the roulette line, it also doesn't make sense because they're.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense because they're in fucking Louisiana and they're going to L.A. It's like there's nothing betting related.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
So Louisiana is really close to to Biloxi,
Uh-huh.
and California is really close to Nevada.
Right. Well, they do have the one Harris that's in the middle of
that
New
it?
Orleans for
Where's-
some reason.
And you know what's
That's
right in the
yeah.
middle? Branson.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So it all revolves around, you know.
I've never
roulette.
understood how they have the one casino in New Orleans. It's just like you're allowed to have this one.
Is it on the water?
No, it's
I don't know.
there's
International waters, man.
one giant fucking
Anything
Harris
goes.
building in downtown New Orleans.
Yeah, but, okay, so let's just
Anyway,
the always bet on black line.
Yep.
great line. But
On its own, the way it's shot, the way he delivers it, fucking great.
It is.
Perfect.
It is the
The build
I
up
am
to it,
sick and tired of the motherfucking snakes on the motherfucking plane. I mean, it's
the
the
build
thing.
up to it doesn't get there.
No.
They don't lay enough groundwork for
No.
him to be able to like punctuate it because he has like
He's
they have two sentences back and forth, and then he's just like, "Oh, he's been on black."
Yeah.
Slams the phone down, and it's like it doesn't work if it's not like
The thing about it is that the bad guy has not been racial in any way, shape, or form. Not at all. Now, the hillbilly cops that he encounters later, if he had said it to them,
yeah.
that would have made sense. He just says this to the bad. He's like, "Hey, by the way, do you ever play roulette?" And he's like, "What? No."
It would have made so much more sense for that conversation to have been him on the phone with Sheriff Briggs or whatever his name was. Like, "Are you sure you could do this, son?" or something like that. And he just be like, "Oh, wait, say that."
yes.
It's
You
like,
know what? You
yeah.
say that when you're about to jump out of a car onto the landing gear of the fucking
sure,
plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
when
mean,
you
that's
drop
when-
that
that's
line.
what- yeah.
But you
could've-
lose that sweet
you
zoom
could've-
that they do on it.
Yes.
You could have had an amazing zoom. Imagine
yeah.
him like hanging on the side of a car, reaching out for fucking landing gear and
Yeah.
like a
Says the line and then grabs the
like
wheel.
a
and
fucking tracking shot with the car. God damn, that would have been amazing. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you could insert one additional shot of Bruce Payne after he says that with just a quizzical look on his face, like
What does that mean?
Oh, all right,
Yeah.
guy. I don't know. I didn't say anything mean to you.
Yeah, Yahtzee. I mean, I don't know.
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Mazel tov, guy. I don't.
Yeah, but like in a vacuum, when you can just clip it out and just have
Sure.
that
Oh, it's-
scene, with, like not even him, even like the guy even responding or saying anything to him
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
that, just having
No,
him
just that
slam the phone down and say that.
Always bet on black slam. Yeah, I mean,
And-
He doesn't slam the phone down,
Okay.
by the way. Very disappointing.
Yeah.
He gingerly puts that phone back on the cradle because it's probably an expensive airplane.
Oh, it's probably a real
telephone.
phone. Yeah.
well, then they couldn't break the prop because they had to do multiple takes.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's telling that is literally the only thing anyone remembers about this film. Like, no one ever says, "Oh man, when he grabs that wheel of the plane, that's super." It's like,
Yeah.
it's neat, but it's not. I mean,
Yeah, well, and I think because when you think it's Die Hard on a plane, like we've been conditioned to think, okay, he's going to one by one take all these guys out on the plane, and it's not that movie at all.
no, it really isn't.
It is him sneaking away, and then
I mean, really, the whole first part, because I mean, this is kind of like it's acted out. It's acted out in terms of like play style acts. I mean, you have Act 1 where he's on the plane, which is basically just grab the flight attendant lady who was in school who he had the slight beef with earlier, and it's just like, we got to get this plane on the ground ASAP. Like, tell me we got to get down there and make him run out of fuel. Blah blah blah. And then
Let me unplug this Ethernet
yeah,
cable.
it's just basically like unhook this one clip and the plane. They don't show as like fuel coming out the back of the plane.
No.
It's just like they are like, oh no, we got to land in Bumblefuck, Louisiana, and then basically it's just like, all right, let's sneak downstairs and jump off the plane, because his whole plan is just like, I've got to get off the plane and tell them everything that's going on.
Right.
You know, not like I
Like
gotta-
they don't know everything
right,
that's
yeah,
going on.
Not I got to go kill all the guys. It's like, I got to get the fuck off the plane.
Well, I
And-
mean, they really don't, because all they know is because he was hiding in the bathroom when the not he wasn't hiding when the thing went down, but he does hide in the bathroom as they're taking over the plane.
because they establish he hates flying.
Yes.
So why is he the head of security
Yeah, I don't know.
for an airline if he hates flying?
Yeah, he doesn't like it.
But by the time he's landing in Lake Dumbfuck, Louisiana, the information has been conveyed.
Yes.
There's a hijacker on
He
the
doesn't
plane.
know that.
Well, what happened? He uses the Skyphone to. He's trying to call Tom Sizemore, doesn't get him on the phone, but is able to, with the phone down, act like a panicky idiot and relate the entirety of the plot that has just happened out loud to the henchman, who's like, "Hey, panicky idiot, shut up." So that's how Sizemore gets the information. But yeah, just like nobody on the ground is really aware of any of what's happening or why why the plane is coming down or anything like that.
Yeah, considering Tom Sizemore is going there, and they have not notified the closest airport
Yeah.
about this.
Right.
Because the people on the thing are like, hey, you can't land here. This is not a
Well-
real airport.
well, Bruce
It's a
Greenwood's
mom
all
and pop airport.
Yeah.
Bruce Greenwood's all about, like, we got to protect the airline, and if it works, we tell him this guy was on the plane. If it doesn't, we just don't tell him he was there.
That
at
is
all.
such a pointless
Yeah.
subplot.
But I mean,
of-
that's why he's on the helicopter. Is like, you go
Yeah.
deal with the press and,
Yeah.
and liaise everything,
Yes.
and I'll just be here counting the money. Oh, I'm sorry, did I use a big word?
no.
No, it's just a
It's a word you say with some sauce.
Oh, sorry.
it's just a weird word,
Yeah.
and I'll take an opportunity to put some sauce on.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just basically why he's mobilized to get down there, is to basically run cover and make the airline not look bad that we let an airline terrorist onto our commercial plane.
I really hate that this mom and pop airport is like, we can't support your plane. It's too big. No, absolutely not. And then it lands comfortably.
It's again, these are
Yeah.
safety regulations. It's the length of you're supposed to have a certain length runway for a
I
kind
know,
of plane.
but it's just they don't even do the scene of
No.
like, oh no, not enough runway.
Also, they don't have an air traffic controller. It's just Nana up there. So
I mean, for half a second they're like, we're gonna have to hit the brakes real hard, prepare for a short runway landing,
Yeah.
blah blah
Yeah.
blah. They screech on the brakes.
Because I
and then
mean,
it's like, it's fine.
at the end of the runway is a carnival. Like you don't do the thing of like,
that's
oh,
also why they're not prepared. Is like half the people that work there
Are at
are
the-
over at the
Yes.
Yeah.
over at the fair.
Yeah. But they don't like.
Meemaw's got to go staff the ring toss after this plane comes
Yeah,
in.
she's got something.
Meemaw's got to go staff the ring toss.
Meemaw's gotta go staff the ring towel.
She's got an entry in the jam contest. Come on.
Oh, Meemaw's jam.
Yeah, Meemaw's ham jam.
I remember the ham jam.
Oh, the ham jam.
Oh, I don't want to eat
Award-winning ham jam.
I don't want to eat ham jam at all.
You'd eat the ham water.
I would not eat the ham
Hot
water.
ham water.
I would not. That's a joke.
We
I
only
would-
talked about it for 10 straight years. Hot ham water.
That's a joke. I would
Big
not
hot
actually
ham.
want that.
I have had essentially ham jam, bacon jam.
Yes.
Pretty
Yes.
good. You should have it.
Okay.
Try a ham jam.
All right.
Yeah.
Try a
Bacon
ham
jam's
jam today.
Get it on a burger.
A ham jam burger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With an egg.
Get some ham jam on a hamburger.
With an egg.
Anyway.
Okay.
But anyway, yes, they land.
They do. And Bruce Payne is like, I got this.
Well, and Wesley Snipes basically gets kicked out of the plane by the henchman.
Well, he
Forget.
Yeah, they went downstairs to the avionics room, and the most obvious bad guy is there. You know, the other guy.
Yeah, I say he's the Jack Nicholson stand-in. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what this guy looks like. Is he'd be the guy just.
Yeah, because he's just like, hey man, it's cool. There's supposed to be someone down here, and Wesley Snipes is like, yeah, that checks out. Anyway, okay, anyway, and so that guy means like, yeah, well, what about my knife? And so
No, the guy's just very dumbly. It's like we should probably just do everything that Rain says. And,
Oh, yeah, that
and
is-
he's just like, why do you know the hijacker's
yeah,
name?
why did you?
How do you
tip
know
him
that
off?
name?
It's funny that I bet if you timed it out, his fight with this little dweeby guy is the longest fight in the film.
Probably.
This guy manages to hang with Wesley Snipes for some reason to the point where later in the film they describe him as tall, and he's not. Just to make this little balding dweeb be like a badass.
Yeah.
He's like the Weasleyiest henchman in the film, and
He
for some
really
reason
is.
he is toe to toe with Wesley Snipes there for a while. So
Yeah, he's like if Clint Howard was normal looking.
yeah, but still
Pretty much.
bald, and had Jack Nicholson eyebrows.
Yeah.
Hey,
But this guy gets kicked in the
He's
face
somewhat of a
multiple
Wallace Shawn.
times.
yes,
Multiple times by Wesley.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Wesley thinks everything's fine, and then the other bad guy comes down and kicks
Yeah.
him out of the plane.
Yeah. Luckily close enough to the ground. And this is where we're introduced to the Louisiana cops who immediately arrest him.
Hey, what are you doing there?
They're like, I do like the only good thing about this is basically like, hey, get on the ground. He's like, I'm already on the ground, asshole. Because he just
Yeah.
fell out of a plane.
God, these
I mean,
guys-
it was on the ground. It was still kind of taxiing, not at full speed. Otherwise, he'd be dead. But I
Right.
mean, it was like,
yeah, it's still moving. He has to roll out of the way.
Yeah.
And tired. And the cops
Yeah.
are right there. They're like, "Hey, what are you doing hijacking this plane?" He's like, "What? The fuck?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "All right, black guy, get in the car."
Yeah, they called him boy too many times.
Way
well,
too many times.
I mean, the carnival is sponsored by Dixie
Yeah, there are some Confederate flags flying at this fucking carnival.
and Pepsi and Reebok.
I mean,
and Budweiser and Tabasco.
Yes.
They were all over
yeah,
the place.
Yeah.
product placement really took me out of
Yeah.
all of it.
Well, there's a lot of Pepsi in this film.
Mhm.
A lot.
There's a lot of Pepsi.
There's a giant inflatable can of Pepsi at the.
Well, it's the fair.
Yeah, it is the fair.
Carnies love Pepsi.
They do. They say that about carnies.
yes.
Small hands love Pepsi.
It's an old. It's an
Smell
old,
of cabbage.
Yeah.
Carnies also don't like doing their job when there's a hint of danger, because later that one carny is like, "Fuck this."
I hate to tell you about carny rides.
Yeah, I know.
A hint of danger is a
Yeah.
good day at
Well,
a
a hint
carny
of danger
ride.
is a carny
Yeah,
ride.
that's actually the name of the ride.
Yeah, it's like, hey kids, let's ride the hint of danger.
That's actually the safety rating that
Yeah.
the guy rates.
Yeah.
Just a hint of danger today.
It's like it's supposed to have 4 bolts, but there are only 3.
just draw.
You interested?
Just draw the fourth one on.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah, we zip tied it.
I've
be fine.
told you that before, right? Like the story about what is it? It's not called the Swan Hotel, is it? In Orlando, the one by Disney, the one that has the
Yeah.
giant swans on top of it, or whatever the hell.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, like when they were building that, the one of the swans was on top. They forgot to ship the bolts, and so like when it was getting inspected, the guys just went up there and with a Sharpie like drew the shape of a bolt, and the inspector just went like, "Yeah, it's good." I don't know if they ever got put on, like
Amazing.
later.
One day a swan's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
hurricane
Yeah.
would blow
Yeah.
through Orlando and send
I
a
mean,
swan
I would assume it
some-
eventually got put
yeah.
on, but yeah, it was
some family's
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
it's just
Which, by the way, this movie is filmed in Orlando.
Oh,
like,
there you go.
even though these scenes are supposed to be in Louisiana, this is Orlando.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how you know the racism is authentic.
I didn't know that.
Because it comes from Florida.
Exactly.
It's homegrown.
They don't ever say they're departing from Orlando, but that's the Orlando airport that they're leaving from.
Was there some kind of deal they made in '92? Because like the Lethal Weapon, the building that blows up in the beginning of Lethal Weapon 3 was the old Orlando courthaus. Was there something going on in the early 90s?
This Universal Studios was opening, and
they opened that.
They were trying to get production down here, and so
I guess
they made them a deal.
I mean, that was part of the thing, is that like Orlando gave them some kind of great deal on the land or something, because they were like, it's going to be not just a theme park that will bring money to the city, but like a functioning studio which will bring additional jobs and money.
Yeah.
So that was part of like the whole
It was a good idea.
lie basically,
Okay.
that they were going to, make that a full-scale studio.
Mm-hmm.
So while everyone is focused on Wesley Snipes being black, the bad guy just gets off the plane. Like the passengers start to get out, and he just sneaks out. He's just
he also negotiates with the sheriff, and he's like, "I'm just going to start killing people every 5 minutes. So if you want to try and call Washington to see who can negotiate with me,
because he
all
wants
the blood's
fuel.
on your hands."
He's like, "Put fuel in my plane so I can get back up in the air."
So he's putting fuel on, but he also tells him, "Oh yeah, one of my guys got off. Black guy, very convincing.
He betrayed me, but he's one of us."
Feel free to take him out. I do like that. Like, there's actually one kind of clever thing he does here. Now, it's not clever because he's already murdered these people, but he doesn't. It's not like he goes and murders fresh people.
Oh no, he just.
I'm just saying, it's like they go and they're like, "Hey, look out the front window by the landing gear," and he basically kicks out all the bodies of the people that he's already killed, like the two agents, the one guy named Doug who he randomly murdered because.
Hey,
Wesley
Doug,
Snipes.
kill Wesley Snipes.
to give Wesley Snipes a flashback.
Yeah, to do the.
Yeah, basically the backstory was that he was in a convenience store with his wife. Burglar comes in or whatever. Not burglar, robber, I guess. Burglar breaks in your house. They burgle. But yeah, this guy just grabs his wife as Wesley Snipes tries to stop the robbery, and he puts his gun down as the guy instructs, but he's still like, "You should have tried to stop me in the first place," and blam, shoots his wife. So.
Yeah, this robber has a weird code.
Yeah,
his code is basically like,
"I was a robber, but now I'm going to be a murderer."
Yeah, it's basically like, "How dare you?"
Yeah.
Even though you have agreed to my terms and will let me go, how you have insulted
This
me.
was also early '90s view on crime.
Sure.
It's like any minor crime could immediately escalate to straight up murder.
Yes. 2-bit hoods always just escalate to murder right away. They know that. Why not?
Yeah.
$200 from the till and murder.
Yep.
That's my Thursday
No
night
witnesses.
plan. Yeah.
Murder.
Right.
Yeah, but so similar situation with poor Doug. Doug doesn't make it.
Yeah.
No,
Doug
does
gets
not.
unceremoniously chucked outside of a plane.
His daughter's gonna be able to see things much better in the future.
Because she has
she's an
orphan vision?
Yeah, because she's an orphan now.
She might have a mom.
Okay, she
I don't know.
She has
Did you see Doug?
50% orphan vision. Yeah.
Did you see Doug? Doug's wife left a long time ago.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug didn't have a lot.
Doug
going
really,
for him.
Doug really didn't care.
Yeah.
He was putting Doug out of his misery.
That's true.
Let's all face facts here.
Okay.
Maybe they'll make a movie about Doug's wife,
Maybe.
ex-wife.
Passenger 58, Doug's wife.
Yeah, she was on that other plane.
Right.
Right.
She's
Like, I'll meet you there.
She was like, "I'm going to L.A. I'm free of Doug."
This flight cruise.
He's like, let's reconcile. I'll fly out there.
Yeah. She's on a different plane, and she's like, this flight crew is a little squirrely, but they haven't done anything wrong, so I don't know. I'll keep an eye on them, I guess, but...
That guy just gives everybody dirty looks. I'm not understanding.
Bruce Payne and his henchmen get off the plane. They just get off and walk away, and no one is even looking in the direction of the airplane when it happens.
Yep.
Because they're yelling at Wesley Snipes for being black in Louisiana. They're like, how dare you? And he's like, listen, I'm this guy. And they're like, prove it. And he's like, look at my ID. And it's like, yeah, it says you're this guy, but it doesn't say anything about you being security. And he's like, I just got hired. And they're like, whatever.
Also, whose ID says what their job is on it? I mean,
None. No IDs. But at this point, like, the local FBI roll up. And someone's like, we got John Cutter up there. And he's like, John Cutter?
military IDs, actually. I mean, I'm saying
Well, but it's
that's
a military
not,
ID.
that's not the only one, though.
Yeah. The local FBI guy, the guy from Troubleman, he's just like, John Cutter. And I thought he was going to start Ramboing this guy of just being like, you don't know. John Cutter's seen some shit. Like, John Cutter will fuck you up. Like, he's just like, John Cutter, I know that name. He's all right. Let him go.
Yeah, he said he does give him one hype line of something like, if you you better call down your guys or
Yeah.
make sure their insurance is paid up or something like that. Yeah.
Yes. Have them check their premiums.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think he told them to be ready for early retirement.
Sure, yeah,
if
something
they
like
hurt.
that. Yeah.
Better hope they have co-pays.
I hope they have a PPO because if they have an HMO, they won't know where to
Oh, right.
go.
Yeah, the 90s was
Yeah.
big on HMOs. Yeah. So this just leads to everyone going to the carnival.
Yeah, because Wesley Snipes just beats up the cops and takes a cop bike.
Motorcycle, they call them.
Hashtag cop bike.
Yeah, cop bike I think would be more like what they start
Bicycle.
off with in 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
10 speeds.
He busts.
He goes all chips.
Yeah, he does. He busts through a fence at one point. That fence didn't look like it was initially going to give. Like,
Yeah.
it is a really tough.
It's a sturdy fence.
Yes. Like, this is not just like, and you'll graze the fence and it'll blow open. This fence was like, nah.
No, I think normally for these stunts you want to take the gate like off the hinges, and
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like they did. They were just like,
No.
it'll open.
Right. Sure.
Just
Yeah,
drive this fucking gold wing
It
through.
fucks
It'll be
up part of
fine.
that gold
Yeah.
wing for
Yeah.
sure.
I love that he gets to the parking lot and just lays the bike down. He's just like, I'll just leave this here.
Well, there's also like cop sirens coming in chasing him, and everyone's like, "Hey, look, there's a black guy here."
Yeah. Yeah. And they run around the carnival.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like, I'm surprised they didn't do the thing they were setting up to do, but it would have been fucking absurd if they did, because Wesley Snipes is chasing Bruce Payne and is obviously, Bruce Payne because he's tall and blonde and wearing a black trench coat.
Yeah. He's also aware that Wesley Snipes is after him. So
Yes, he keeps
he's-
looking
he's-
back at him
yeah.
to confirm, like, you coming?
Well, he's also leading him on. Like, he's had his other two henchmen like break off, and
Yeah.
one's supposed to be getting a car, and the other one's supposed to be trying to help him kill Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
So.
But I was very surprised they did not do the thing where Wesley Snipes finally catches up to him, and then surprise, it's another guy who looks exactly like it's Bruce Payne's stunt double. Like, oh, what are you doing here? I don't know. They get into
the Jack Nicholson guy shoots a clown because it's the day the clown died. But yeah,
he does. They
yeah,
get
but
into it.
yeah, because he thinks he's got Wesley Snipes like lined up, and the clown just steps in the way, and then it's like, oh,
Goddamn
shit.
clown.
Yeah, because it's like it ends up with like Wesley Snipes like climbs on a Ferris wheel, and that's where the carny guy's like, "Fuck it, man,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
out."
out of here." It's like he stops long enough
Fuck
to like
them kids.
stop the Ferris wheel like in mid spin, yeah, and then just leaves them to their fate. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But I love that guy can't figure out how to start the Ferris wheel again, so he just climbs the Ferris wheel.
He's like, this will work.
Which works out exactly like you think. He basically gets up close to the top, and Wesley Snipes is like, "Hey, click, kick."
yeah.
Yeah.
And he falls to
And
his
then he
death.
was unable to save Ferris.
Yeah.
He dies.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, and Wesley's able to get down by sliding along the rails, and Bruce Payne just suddenly becomes a horrible shot.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's just used to shooting people point blank. I don't
Yes.
know. But yeah, he ends up getting chasing Wesley Snipes onto a carousel
And then it
and
seems
blowing
like
up half the carousel and then having to step off to reload.
it seems like Wesley Snipes is using the children on the carousel as cover. I swear to God, he is.
That's what you do.
He is weaving in and out of the horses and shit
Yeah.
It's the
That are-
Uvalde Police Department.
that are occupied.
Yeah. I appreciate that this guy's running around with a gun and the kids are just like, "Oh, this horsey's fun."
Yeah, I'm not getting off.
Like, I've never been on a carousel that fun,
No.
regardless of what age I was, that if
No.
a man with a gun's running around shooting, I wouldn't be like, "Time to get off the carousel."
Carousel is just what you ride when you're tired of walking.
He was shooting some merry-go-rounds. Ha.
Yeah, he eventually Bruce Payne is like stops and is like, I'm gonna reload my gun, and then because it's a carousel, eventually Wesley Snipes gets around to where Bruce Payne is and just jumps off and tackles him. And like the cops show up and immediately pull Wesley Snipes off of him, and they're like, "Haha, I got you, Bruce Payne. We've caught you." And again, so this is like the second time in the movie Bruce Payne has just dead to rights been caught.
Yep.
Then it just becomes this like, hey, there's still people in the plane, and my people are still on there. If you don't let me go, they're gonna kill everybody that's left. So
This is dumb.
then
This is all dumb.
This is the really dumb part because, like I said, this is like I don't think the manual says this is what you do, but they're basically like, all right, we're gonna put them back on the plane, but we're also like gonna tear gas it and hut our
and
way
also
in.
take the shot when they
Yeah.
open the door. And
yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
maybe
Maybe don't.
hook the gas up to like like
yeah, just gas the
knock,
plane.
yeah, knock the entire plane out. Like you have a
Sort them out later.
you have a tin can that has a ventilation system, like
mm-hmm.
pump in some knockout gas. Like
Yeah.
give him all the shit that Bruce Payne didn't want at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in reserve.
Yeah.
But just at the last minute, the Jack Nicholson guy has taken out the two snipers and is now sniping the people who were going to
Right.
help.
He sniped the agents that are escorting Bruce Payne.
Wesley sniped them.
Ah.
Yep. So Chaos and Bruce Payne gets on the plane, and the plane takes off.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Wesley Snipes says, "Follow that plane." And they get in the police
And he
car.
has this weird bonding session with the police sergeant.
I think they had to realize that they couldn't keep that guy a piece of shit the rest of the film, because at some point he's got to realize, oh, wait, no, you pretty much outrank me in this situation. So, they do have a weird, him and Tom Sizemore, because he's arrived there too, they all have this weird camaraderie that's
Not earned.
just an odd moment for something where the bad guy has gotten away yet again.
Yeah.
It's the end of the first Avenger, Captain America, first
Yeah.
Avenger, but the Tommy Lee Jones is the racist sheriff, and is it Trouble Man? Is that the Trouble Man in the backseat? I'm trying to remember. Is that the
No,
same-
it's
Tom
Tom
Sizemore.
Sizemore's in the
It's not
back.
okay.
Troubleman got shot.
Yeah,
by
that's
the
right.
sniper.
Yeah,
He
Like
got
I said,
grazed.
but yeah, Tom Sizemore's Peggy, so they don't really kiss. They kind of do, but
Mhm.
I think it's out, hops on the
Yeah.
plane.
But yeah, him like doing this stunt, jumping onto the thing. That's when you do the. You're not gonna make it, man.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you're from down here where there's casinos.
Yeah.
You ever play roulette? Yeah. This is where you do it.
Yeah. This is where you do it.
It's
But
just,
anyway,
it's just such not a threat to Bruce Payne. It's
But anyway, he gets back on the plane.
he does
Yep, he fixes the cable.
through the wheel.
Yep. And then just starts taking dudes out because he finally gets to take out clearly obvious henchmen
Mm-hmm.
with a putter.
Yep,
His character's name's Cutter,
cutter with the putter.
Yep.
Takes him out.
and he beats the fuck out of him with that putter too.
Mhm.
Like
Yes.
it's a. And they get the nice move as he's like swiping it around, so it's good. But yeah, he beats the shit out of him. He beats up Elizabeth Hurley because he's able to get into the cockpit, and they're like,
Oh, that's how he gets from where the compartment below. He pops up through the little trap door.
yeah, and
Yeah,
he's
I
like,
gotta say, I don't.
That's a bad. They shouldn't have.
I don't
that.
think that's a real thing on a plane. That probably
No.
shouldn't be. Like you can go
If
from
it
the
was
galley,
a thing, it's not a plane thing anymore.
not anymore.
go from the
No.
galley straight to
Yeah.
the cockpit. Just
Hey guys,
hey guys,
because
Need
they're
a
like
sandwich?
hey, who?
he doesn't
who
really
are
beat
you?
up. I mean, she walks in and is like, because he's like,
Punches
go
her
back
in
to
the
the
face.
airport. So that, of course they're like, hey, the plane's listing. Like,
Yeah.
he sends her up, and then she just walks in like, why is the plane dirty? He's like, because me, punch.
Right, always bet on black.
Yeah, and then he's just like, there's just one guy left, and he's mine. And yeah, I mean, they literally go just have a fight.
Yeah,
and
I do like that they do a little bit of misdirection where he makes the flight attendant woman open the door because he's about to shoot whoever's behind it, and you're like, oh no, it's going to be Wesley Snipes.
Yep.
And no, it's the dude that falls out dead
Yeah,
that he's beat to hell with a putter, and she just screams her damn head off
yeah.
and immediately gets like knocked out by Bruce Payne. He's just like, no.
It's a scream queen reaction to like finding
Yeah.
your friend in the closet.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying,
It's
like,
it's a very good reaction,
Yeah.
but
But-
then
It's so good because she wakes up after from
Yeah.
that and sees him and does the exact same scream again.
Yep.
well, yeah, because she's kind of like fallen over, sort of on the body. It's kind of great. She's like
Yeah.
wakes up and
yeah,
realizes
she's crumpled over the
yeah.
body, and then she's like,
she's
oh
like,
god,
oh god,
what happened?
I passed out on the body.
It's still gross. I don't
But
wanna be
Wesley
here.
Snipes uses this to be able to get the jump on him, and
Yeah.
there's a protracted fight where they shoot out the window.
Yeah, of course.
Finally, despite firing a whole bunch of rounds on this plane that probably should have pierced something at some point.
They pierced people.
Mhm.
Doug.
Yeah, but it takes out the tiny window first, and then that
Yeah.
starts making the door buckle until it
It's
finally
a-
eventually.
It's a pretty sweet effect they're using on the door to make it ripple. But yeah.
And I
We're
do
like-
like Wesley Snipes kicking Bruce Payne's ass by walking around the chairs of
Over people.
Yeah.
There's one lady who's like cringing
And
as he's like doing a spin kick on top of her.
Yeah.
Kind of using the oxygen masks as like Spider-Man leverage.
Yep.
I mean, he's kind of using that to sort of
and
spin off.
Bruce
of it.
Payne uses one to choke him out at one point.
There's something I like about how awkward a lot of it is because of the geography of the area they're trying to fight in, for one, and the plane being like shaking and twisting and all that. It's
Yeah.
kind of
It's neat.
not bad, yeah.
It's not
It works for
turbulence
me.
neat, but it's neat.
yeah, it works for me though.
Yeah.
But eventually, yeah, they end up getting near the door
Mhm.
that's been yanked out, and
I think does he start this fight still with the putter? Because I feel like doesn't he
No.
beat
He
the
does not, no.
shit out of?
no, they're able to knock the gun away, and then they're just
But
hit
no, there's like maybe it's just he's kicking him, but like there's something where like it's again they keep seeming like they were going to introduce this James Bond like I can't feel pain thing with Bruce Payne, but I mean like because like
it's clear that he doesn't.
Right, because I mean I'm just saying
he
there's
gets hit in the balls multiple
There's
times.
some point where I thought maybe he had the putter or something, but he clearly just whacks him really hard in the balls at one point.
Oh yeah, I mean
no, he kicks him square in the balls
Yeah.
like 3 times as he's kicking him out the door.
Well, yeah, because there's one point where they're struggling, and he's got Wesley Snipes down, and Wesley Snipes does like the wrestling uppercut punch to the balls, and Bruce Payne just looks at him like, "Nah, son, you're not gonna hit me in the balls." But he does then kick him in the balls 6 times to get him out of the plane.
Yeah, it just seemed like the only
Eventually,
thing that,
you feel some pain.
Sure, yeah,
some-
yeah.
the only thing that like seemed to catch him was like he kind of throat punched him at one point. And he was like, "Oh,
Yes,
I
that did work.
Yeah, I was actually like, "Oh, that kind of
Yeah.
got me." And
It's like, oh, hey, my one weakness, the neck.
but yeah, he eventually like he's got him like on the ropes in the door, and kind of kicks him out.
Just that thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it just doesn't say anything. Like not even later, like like
Nope.
he's feeling swamped. I don't know, just whatever. Like
Feeling swamped.
I don't know, like whatever you could come up with something. I just
That would have been horrible.
he fell in the fucking swamp. I mean, I don't know.
but people would have walked out of the theater like, what the fuck?
First fucking draft. It's
Looks
better
like
than
his
it's
plan
better than no line.
Fell apart.
Yeah.
Uh,
Looks like you're gonna have some swamp crotch now. Because he kicked him in the balls like 6 times.
Right.
And then threw him into a swamp that was 20,000 feet beneath him.
Goodbye, you.
wow. Wow.
That's amazing right there. Write that down. Put that in Passenger 58.
You've been hanging around Harlow too much. You guys have done too many extra episodes at this point.
I don't know. That's pretty good.
That was golden. I really like that one.
Okay.
Good job, Chuck.
That's a good line.
wasn't
Let's
bad.
dub that in. Then we'll re-upload it to the internet. We'll just replace all streaming copies with our version.
All right. Which of us does the best Wesley Snipes impersonation?
I don't
None
know.
of us.
I don't know
None
if
of
I've ever even heard someone try to do Wesley. Like,
Yeah, I don't even know what
That
his-
just seems like one of those voices that's just.
I mean, the only thing I could think is like ways he says certain lines.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when he gets exasperated, he kind of has that what, he has that like high pitched thing.
Yeah.
I guess, but yeah.
But just normal Wesley Snipes talking. I don't think there's ever been an impression of him.
No.
I'm sure there's someone on the internet who did one in the middle of 1001 celebrity
Right.
impressions.
Well, according to that lady on the plane, we could
right.
probably get Arsenio Hall to do it.
Yes. Yeah.
What was that
'cause-
one dude on Saturday Night Live, the one that did Denzel? Was not Gerard Carmichael? That's the stand-up comedian. What's that guy's name?
I don't know.
Jay Farrow?
Yes. Yeah. I'm saying like get him because he seems like he's really good at picking up nuances, and you're like, oh, I never realized like that's how you would do an imitation of them. Okay, good.
Yeah. But yeah, they land the plane. This is not one of those movies where all the pilots are gone and now they have to land the plane. It's just like,
No.
nope, they land the plane again. Yeah, basically, this is just that movie ending of all the emergency vehicles roll out on the tarmac and our 2 heroes walk away.
Yep.
Well, Wesley Snipes and stewardess lady walk away.
Flight attendant.
Yes, she does correct it. Yeah.
We didn't even mention there's the old lady who thinks Wesley Snipes is Arsenio Hall.
Yeah.
It's part payback that the what is her name? Marta? What's the flight attendant's lady's name?
Martha?
Marty.
Marky?
Marty.
Okay.
Marty.
Yeah. But yeah, because she was still pissed off about the way, I mean, Wesley Snipes was kind of a dick in the class to her, but she's just like,
Well,
oh,
she
you're
did it wrong.
Yeah, you're nervous at flying, so I brought this old lady who's going to talk your ear off, sat her next to you.
Yeah.
And she thinks he's Arsenio Hall. Probably because she told him that. But.
It's also kind of weird that they set up the whole don't do this on an airplane, stewardess lady. You'll get everybody killed, and it doesn't somehow end up being the thing.
Yep.
That's a weird thing to
Yep.
set up.
Also, I just gotta point out something like in the really broken IMDb trivia line, like
Sure.
Everyone was mistaking him for Arsenio Hall in this, and then later in My Name Is Dolomite, he is Eddie Murphy's sidekick.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
He is Arsenio Hall.
yeah,
Yeah. It's just weird though. It's one of those things. The movie is just setting her up to be a slight foil for Wesley Snipes. When he sees her on the plane, he's like, oh god. That's all that scene is setting up. But the scene is very specifically setting up a terrorist scenario of I have taken a hostage on a plane this successful thing stopped it, but don't do that.
Mhm.
It doesn't come down to like the last this, I mean, maybe it happened in there somewhere, but
I think she did do.
I feel like
she,
she-
kick
I don't-
move
I
to
don't
him.
think
I
so.
Don't know.
I
Whatever.
don't know.
I don't-
It's just not that kind of movie.
No.
It sets things up and forgets other
Yeah.
things. And
The good thing is Sandy Bullock taught us the full sequence later, so that we
right,
we could completely disable someone.
yes, very important.
The Demolition Man. What is
Solar plexus, instep, nose, and groin. Miscongeniality.
it? Oh,
Yes, the obvious choice.
right. Sorry, terribly sorry that I.
You should be sorry.
recall
That's
that.
my future ex-wife we're talking about.
Okay.
You better hurry up.
Okay.
I'm slow playing it.
Okay. Good luck.
She'll come around.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so the classic Passenger 57 has ended with a weird cover of a Stevie Wonder song.
Yeah.
By like Norman Brown,
Norman
whoever
Brown.
Norman Brown is.
Yeah. It's not very good.
No.
No.
Nah.
It's awkward.
This was the era of 90s white people jazz, which is awful.
You're right.
Yeah. Kenny G Money.
I
They
do
didn't
like
even have Kenny G
No, I
money.
just-
They had
no, no,
Norman B money.
More like G Money. I just like
Right.
it's white people doing a black people's.
Ah, right.
I do kind of like this is of that era of where a movie had one song and then they promote the soundtrack in the credits like, hey, buy it for that one song. I'm
Right.
like,
Nobody wants.
no, thank you.
And the soundtrack really isn't much to write home about either.
It's got the Law and Order instrumentation going on.
Yeah.
It's not Mark
It's-
or Mike Post or whoever does.
Marky Post from Night Court.
John
Yes.
Larroquette.
Right.
Right.
Richard Mall.
Yes. Shut up so I can think. So, yeah, it's funky.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really do much other than just be a little bit funky and synthesizer-y.
It just never kicks in. You're waiting
Yeah.
for it to really go, but it just every so often you just get like flap, and it's like, what?
Right. Like the
Play the bass.
intro
guy.
song is full of like
Oh man, somebody's slapping the shit
like
out of that
bass slap synthesizer stuff, but the rest of it's just like every once in a while it'll come in with some horns, some jazzy smooth horns, and then as quickly as it came it fades away.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird.
A little strange. Yeah, but it's over. So we should rate it.
I guess so.
Someone rate it.
Okay, I can go too. 3 jocks.
Okay.
It's good. It's not great. It's okay. Wesley's good in it. Everything else is kind of boilerplate, whatever. I wanted to like this more, but and I appreciate that it took a weird turn and there's something like running around in a carnival and stuff and then get back on the plane.
Yeah.
And it's got like my favorite 90s thing, which is just like people who have never actually done any research on the thing they're writing a movie about, doing a movie about it.
Mhm.
You know, where it's like, how would a hostage negotiation go? Not like this.
Yeah. no.
Absolutely nothing like this. And it's like, okay, well, okay. Yeah. But otherwise, it's just like the action isn't that great. I appreciate Wesley doing a ton of the stunts and a ton of the jumping around that he's doing and selling all the lines they give him. But aside from that, it just kind of, I don't know. It just didn't work for me the way I was hoping it would. But it's still recommended because 3 jocks isn't
Yeah, no.
isn't bad.
That's a
Yeah.
recommendation.
If for some reason you listen to our show and you haven't seen Passenger 57 yet, go watch it. It's 3 jocks. You will enjoy it. That's my
Mhm.
official rating. You will enjoy it. But I mean, don't expect, anything crazy out of it. It's just I don't know, but
Uh-huh.
there's a reason why, like in my head it was way better than what we saw. And that's the reason why Passenger 57 nobody talks about Passenger 57 anymore, because it has that one line and not much else to set it apart from any other fairly good action movie from that era. And that's it.
Yeah.
Chuckles?
Yeah, I mean, it's totally fine. It's
Better than Chuck Fine, though.
yes, it's a 2 jocks movie. I think 1 jocks for the line, 1 jocks for all the little other bits that we liked along the way. But it is such a just a standard template of a movie that I feel like that just the get off the plane stuff it just sucks the energy out of it because you're like, what are you doing? Like, why are you getting off the plane? This is a take over the plane movie. Like,
yeah, not only that, it's like the fact that his direction is to get there 5-10 minutes before it actually happens too. You're like, wait, you're heading the wrong way, and then you get there and we waste all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I get at some point in Speed you've got to get off the bus, but the getting off the bus part at the end of Speed is the worst part of Speed. Like, that section of the movie is just like, I don't care about this.
Yeah, but I'm taller.
It's just such an odd thing. It feels like the hijacking stuff was already done to death at this point, and they just felt like, well, we'll land the plane, they can get off and fuck around in a carnival for a few minutes and then get back on the plane and we'll resume our journey. And it's like, that is the oddest plan. And to make that happen, you've got to have the thing, like I said, which is Bruce Payne has to know that at any moment he's got 8 backup plans that are totally going to be successful. And that's not in any way suspenseful whatsoever. I feel like even when he dies, as he's falling, he's probably thinking, I've got this. Like, and now the jet will fly under and I will grab onto it and fly away. It's just, there's never any satisfaction of anything happening to Bruce Payne because, one, the man doesn't feel pain, so the only thing that ever happens to him in this film is he gets kicked out of a plane. It's just not a satisfying good guy, bad guy thing. Yeah, and I mean, he's saying weird things to the flight attendant lady. Just dumb dialogue. Just dumb, like...
The only payoff for that is that it's kind of hinted at that maybe Elizabeth Hurley is his his girlfriend, whatever, like... But then, because she's kind of within earshot as he's hitting on not her, the
Marty.
Yeah. And she's just kind of like,
oh yeah,
walks away
in the background. She just rolls her eyes and leaves, and it's like, yeah.
Like, that's the only like kind of satisfying thing about that.
Yeah.
She's just like, oh god.
But like Bruce Payne's character having a sexual desire just seems like the oddest character trait because he doesn't have any emotion whatsoever.
Right.
Like all of a sudden he's like, I'm gonna force sex upon you, and she's like, and what are you going to do, kill me after? And he's like, no, during. And it's like, Christ, how did you say that with a straight face? Like, how did someone wrote that down? That is awful. That is so awful. During. Fuck you.
Man.
They needed something for their climax.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it the same too, Jocks. I mean, I think like if it weren't for Bruce Payne and Wesley Snipes like bringing whatever it is they're bringing, charisma and weirdness and everything, like just trying, this wouldn't just be such a blah kind of movie, really. I mean, like as you were talking about, I was like, when they land, it's like a lame over. It's not a layover. It's like the part of the movie where it's just like, this is going to be lame for a while, and then they get back in the air and it gets a little better.
Go to the snack bar.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's just like I'm giving it the 1 extra Jocks just for all the attempts at acting. Like the action. Well, I just mean that they were trying.
Congratulations, movie, for attempts at acting.
Well, like trying, giving it something. You
Yes.
know, like the rest of it is like may have honestly like been in the bag if it wasn't for those people like, bringing. Like I said, I always appreciate people trying their best with garbage. So.
And I do like Wesley Snipes' occasional nonsensical combat roles and other things that he does. Like instead of just sliding down the Ferris wheel, he's like swinging around it like a barber pole. Just like,
And not getting shot.
yeah.
And there's little things like, I mean, he doesn't have a good one-liner after I killed Bruce Payne, except like he does kind of sell, like he's got everybody on the radio. He's like, have you dealt with him? Is Rain dealt with him? He's like, you damn Skippy.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
And all the old white people are like, yay.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Arsenio killed the terrorist.
Yeah, I just think it's like there's little touches he's throwing in, but it's
Yeah.
not like, oh, that's a really good, well-written line or anything.
Yep.
So, but yeah, it's still perfectly fine and enjoyable movie.
It's an acceptable film. So.
Cool. You know what else is also acceptable?
What?
Us.
Yes.
We're acceptable of you.
And we will acceptable your moneyable at patreon.com/BMFcast. If you would like to support what we do, throw us a little bone. help us out with the expenses, of which we have many, including hosting and fabulous lights. And
Hope is always bet to
drugs.
be in the black.
Nice
Yeah,
try.
yeah.
Anyway, stop stepping over my my thing here. But yeah, if you don't want to or can't support the show financially, a great way to support us a great way to support us another way is to just share it with your friends. Let them know you like bad movies. Your friends might also like bad movies. You like us. Your friends might also like us. So,
Yeah, if your friends like you, and you like us, therefore,
transitive property.
exactly
They're now our friends,
right,
but only if you share them with us or share us with them.
or both.
Yeah. Anyway,
Right.
what I mean to say is tell your friends and also your enemies about us.
Oh yeah, definitely them.
And you can do that by leading them to bmfcast.com. And yeah,
Yeah,
I'm very tired today.
I can tell.
Yeah, stuff.
I'm now on a Harlow sleeping schedule, so I'm all
Oh.
fucked up.
Okay,
Yeah. But
cool.
Yeah,
Right on.
it's not cool, but it also is cool.
Yeah. It's cool enough.
I'm not sure what it is anymore.
Right.
Is it a Tuesday today?
It is a Tuesday.
Cool.
For you, it was a Tuesday.
Right.
Thank God.
Before we go,
Uh-huh.
5 we go.
this is gonna be my last episode for a while.
Yeah, because we're
What?
murdering Mackie
Yeah, they're murdering me
and throwing him
Also-
into a swamp.
Yeah, we're murdering.
and throwing me into a swamp.
No, it's a farm.
Oh,
It's a farm with all the other
Yes,
animals.
I am actually
you'll
going.
be fine.
You are,
Going-
you are
I'm
moving
going to a farm upstate
downstate?
for a few
Downstate.
months.
Swamp.
Yeah, I'm moving, but I'll be back.
We don't have any upstate. It's called Georgia.
Yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah.
don't want to go there.
No, thank
but,
you.
Just
Oh, yeah.
temporary while you're
yeah,
getting...
I sold my house for more money than I should have gotten, and
Hell yeah.
Right on.
my new house is not ready. So I have to go live wherever I can live. That
Now-
will not charge me what rent costs these days, because rent these days,
Too damn high.
It's too damn high.
it's fucking bullshit is what it is.
And if you have been a long-time listener, this is not a repeat episode from like 8 years ago
When he sold his house.
when he sold his house and couldn't move into the next
We have
house
been on the air so long that you have sold 2 houses.
yet.
Yeah,
3?
you're right.
This will be your
yeah,
technically
yeah,
your third.
Yeah, Jen's condo we sold as well. But
Mm-hmm.
we were able to move straight into the house from there. I didn't
True,
have to
true.
live with BJ or anything. But
This show is generational.
yeah, it is weird. But yeah,
As you move into
So-
the twilight of your life.
yeah. Maybe I can. Maybe yeah. God, I feel like it. Jesus Christ. I feel like I've been awake for a month getting the house ready, and then now I got to pack the rest of it. But yeah, hopefully, maybe
We're
we
trying
can
to
do-
figure out what we could do.
Yeah, maybe we can do a variety hour once in a while or something, since we haven't done any second halves or variety hours in a while.
Mhm.
Not since COVID hit me again, or well, I never got COVID. I got
You've
got-
had
You were,
COVID scares.
you were COVID adjacent.
yeah.
Yeah. You've had like, oh no, COVID near me.
Yeah, I was almost touched by a COVID, but yeah, the closest I got a closed door meeting with someone who actively had COVID, 30 minutes. They're like, "No, I tested negative this morning. I promise." And I'm like, "Okay." And then they went home and said, "No, actually, now I tested positive. Sorry." And I was like, "I hope you have a bad time with COVID." And they did. They had an incredibly bad time. With
Awesome.
it.
Really? Wow.
Did they die?
No.
Well, that would be an incredibly bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
that'd be
the incredibly
ultimately bad.
worst time.
the worst
but
time.
no.
Yeah.
But now I will just be going somewhere where I don't know anyone but my wife, and we probably won't go out and do anything. And
That's good.
I'll have plenty of stuff to talk about on a variety hour
That's
because
good.
I ain't got shit else to do.
Yeah. Shit else.
Work from home. It's gonna be weird.
Find
But anyway.
new restaurants to get DoorDash from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best bargains are at 4 to 4:30.
Is it?
No, I just because of where you're going. It's
Yeah,
that's
early
like
bird.
that's dinner.
Yeah, like
Supper, they call
Supper.
it.
Supper.
yeah,
Uh.
we will be the youngest people there that are not
Yeah.
grandchildren. It's gonna be so fucking weird. But anyway, yeah. So I'll be back. So don't fret. But I know you didn't really care.
could
but
fret a little.
Figured I'd mention it so people don't start writing, going, "Hey,
Did
you guys
Mackie
fire
die?
Mackie?
Yes.
Two things. One, you never say the thing at the beginning
Yeah.
of the episode
Two,
anymore. And
Where's
two,
Maggie?
where's Mackie?
There
Anyway.
In order of importance. I mean, clearly, I need to know why you never say the thing.
There was a guy on the show named Mackie,
Yeah.
right?
But you also used to say 1 star. We're in.
I like
I
the
don't-
one tweet we get every 6 months about, are you guys going to do no quarters again?
Hey, we should do a no quarters.
It's the
while I'm
same
gone.
guy, I think,
Yeah, it
every
is.
time.
We have one no quarters fan
Moon.
who's really into that, and
Yeah. I like doing no quarters. We should
it's
do
all
that
right.
again.
no one has played a video game.
I've played Elden Ring. That's it.
Yeah.
That is literally it.
I've played Hydroneer.
yeah.
He did.
That's pretty much
And
it.
BJ and I played some board games.
We have.
And that's it.
Okay.
Cool. There's no quarters.
There you
for-
go. I'll
Uh,
cut that out. Print
that'll
it, put it out.
that'll fit a full.
I just need this
20
paddle
minutes.
wall, this ashtray, and that's it.
That's all I need.
But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss you guys. It's gonna be really weird. Like I'm not like I've lived in this town consecutively for 25 years.
Are you leaving like a month or two? I mean, it's
Yeah, you're only going to be gone.
You've
I
missed,
am gonna
like
be-
that string of episodes.
gonna be
before.
I am gonna
August
be
and September.
so busy in the next couple
Alright.
before I move.
You won't even have time to miss us.
Yeah, yeah. But then once I get there, I'm gonna be like, could I drive back? And then driving back 2 hours after doing one of these,
I mean,
not preferred.
if you have your setup, there's no reason I can't put your window over the window here. I mean, I'm
No.
just saying, like,
It's not the same. I don't
Well, I
like
know.
watching them without you guys.
Yeah.
It's not right.
It's unnatural.
just saying, like,
It is.
we don't
It's
really.
It's
other-
again,
other
it
than-
goes against
Other
God.
than being able to do this, we don't actually have to be in the same room. That's the only thing that lets you know that we actually are. Is like when I
I don't know
get
if I
into
can
his
get far
frame.
enough for
We'll
that.
do some variety hour shit.
Get it.
Right. Yeah, or
Oh, the variety
Anyway.
hour.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
But anyway, that's where I'm going to be. So
Yeah.
hopefully my house is done in a couple months, but it could be December.
Who knows?
Supply chain, love it,
It's fun.
live it,
Everything's fun.
laugh it.
Don't laugh at the supply chain.
Yeah, something like that. So anyway, now we can get out of here.
All right,
cool.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ,
I'm Chuck.
and this is BMFcast out. Bye.
Goodbye. Forever.
That was my collective soul. You said December.
Yeah.
I just got the email from Patreon. It said, Bad Movie Fiends just shared. Episode 548 is.
Oh,
Like if you're just a follower, not a
Right.
subscriber.
well, good. I'm glad people know.
Yeah.
Did I put the time wrong?
Release this post 4 days early to select tiers.
Ooh.
You have the correct time on the tweet or on the email. It just the
They
release
They
was
just took 12 hours to send it out.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's one of those things that'll be in your head for like 2 days now.
I got schmutz.
Yeah, it's a little warm in here today.
It's just me
Yeah, it's the fourth body.
changing the temp.
Always been in black.
Hell of a page turner. Bye, internet.
Bye, internet.
We love you, internet. Mackie, we'll be back.
I just thought,
Yeah, Mackie
try to
will
give him the
return.
whole experience of taking off the headphones and everything.
I should get all my packing done and then show up for episode 550. Just be like, I'm not gone yet.
Can't get rid of me that.
Milestone.
You son of a bitch.
If you can, I have a movie for us for 550. If not,
We got a lot to do. We got a lot to do.